Aloha and welcome to this final part of the Island Snow WOD. We're going to add a footer, and basically we go up to our initial image. You're going to see that's what it's supposed to look like at the end. We'll have three sections. Looks like it's going to be in a container because we got some margin and three lists. There's like an input field which is a little different. And if we look at the real one, from the real site, you can see it's a little more complicated, it has extra stuff, but not much interest of adding all that stuff. I just want to see that you can do those three sections. Okay, so let's go find the WOD. So we'll start off by starting the timer, which would be that guy. And the first thing we're doing is merge the final version of our middle branch back into master. So we are in the middle. Let me commit. I have a little change there. Commit idea file. You always want to start before a merge, get everything committed. It's going to simplify your life. Now so the middle branch is committed and clean. And the way that we do this is first we switch back to the master branch. And then we say merge into master, and we're going to merge from middle into the master. So three commits from middle will be merged into head. So we click merge, and then the merge is completed. And then we'll do a sync, which commits our master back up to GitHub. And then we can click on this little guy. And so now we can see that we are in the master branch, and if we go to IntelliJ IDEA, you can see we're back in the master branch. And if we, preview that, you can see where the master branch now includes the middle portion of the site. Okay, so that's how that works. Now we create a branch called footer1. So basically we got all our middle stuff back into master. Now we're going to make branches off of master for this third section, which is footer, and you can make a footer 1 and then revert back to master, which gets you back to this point, which is after middle, and you can make more footers, footer 2, footer 3. You can do this as many times as you need to. So we just go back here and we say branch off of master. We'll call it footer 1, create branch, and oh darn it! I had that little bit of change, but that will be that'll be okay. So let's we'll commit that with the footer 1 part, and it's just a change to the way the IntelliJ window is. I'll say parenthetically that eventually we're going to use gitignore to ignore the .idea folder, and we won't have these shenanigans with the workspace.xml file. But for right now, we're just going to commit that stuff and deal with it. Okay, so we've created our master branch called footer1, do our work in this branch, and then use the approach outlined in color block home pages to create the footer background color. So as you recall from going through this, basically we're just going to take one of these guys, and then we'll have a div with the gray background in our site. So go to here. So we'll create a style it's called footer background, and then we need to know what the color is. So to do that, let's go back to this page. And what is that color? Well, the way we do that is a propeller meta J to bring up Chrome Developer Tools, and we click on this inspect guy, and we click there in the footer area, and then we look over here and we say, okay, it's that's the background color. So we'll copy that, go back over to IntelliJ IDEA, paste that in, and now we've got a footer background that has the right stuff. So let's just go, let's say div class equals footer background. And if we preview that now, what we see is this nice background ready to be filled in with our stuff. Okay, so that's good. We're gonna now. I had a height. If you notice, I had the height value in here, and instead, what the directions are saying, just add a little bit of padding to the top and bottom. Instead of being an absolutely 200 pixels, no matter how much content is in there, we'll put some top and bottom padding, so it will, the footer will adjust dynamically to the size of the stuff inside it with a little bit of padding. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is add a UI 3-column grid container to format the 3 columns that are inside there. Remember, there's 3 columns in here. So UI 3-column grid container. So the way that works is we'll say inside here div class equals UI 3-column grid container. And if you want to kind of learn more about this, parenthetically, you could say semantic UI 3-column grid container. Okay, and then you'll find out more about columns and grids and so forth. Okay, so it's easy to learn more, but I want you to kind of go through this learning process on the WOD, so when you're actually building stuff, you don't have to look up a lot. Okay, so we've got this. We got this UI 3-column grid container, and then inside we need some columns because it says it's a 3-column container. So we'll say column, and since there's 3, let me add those in. And while I'm at it, let me put that horizontal rule in. Let me see if there's some. Okay, there we go. And then /HR. And then if we preview this, okay, looks almost good. The problem, though, is that you can't see the column, the title, and that's because it's black. So we got to make that better. How do we do that? Well, let's go back to our style sheet and say color is supposed to be white. And so if we do a control left arrow to get back to here, and then an option F2 preview, okay, that's good. But now you start to see, look, there, it's right up snug against that. That's not what the real site looks like. It has some, some nice padding there. So let's go ahead and fix that. And the way we're going to fix that is we're going to get rid of this height, and instead we'll say padding top, I don't know, whatever you want, 20 pixels, 50 pixels, something. So if we do that, and then we go back and do an option F2, now we've got some nice padding, and I think we're off to the races here. We need navigation, main menu, and connect as the title. Navigation, main menu, connect. Let's see how that looks. Whoops. Okay, that looks pretty good. What do we have underneath there? About, we got a list. About us videos, store locations. So we have a UI list with 3. So let's look at semantic UI list, because that's important to kind of see how semantic UI does it. It's a little different. Okay, so this is what it looks like, a div class UI list with items inside. So actually, let's copy that. And then under navigation, we'll put our UI list, and then we'll try to remember what was supposed to go in there. About us videos and store locations. So about us videos store locations. Let's preview that and see how that looks. Oh, that looks kind of nice. Like fairly close. Where's our thing? Yeah. Okay. And then the main menu is supposed to have men. We'll put the first three in: men, women, kids. So if we go back to here, let's make a copy of that list. And then we'll say men, women, kids. Preview that. Are we making mistakes? No, that looks good. So now we're down to the connect. Connect is going to have a list with 2 items: sign up for the latest updates and this enter email address, which is an input field. Okay, so let's start off by just making our list. And then the first one is sign up for the latest updates. And the second one is going to be this input, and I gave you a hint. Use the Semantic UI labeled input class. So we go over here, we see as a variation the labeled input class, which is pretty close to what we need. So let's click here to see what the actual code looks like. Let's copy that. And then instead of these 2 items, let's paste in this labeled input. Let's just see what that looks like. Okay, sign up for the latest updates. Let's enter email address and join. So it's really quite close, except that the label's on the wrong side and the placeholder's wrong. So let's say sign. Oops. No. Enter join. And then enter email address. And remember, the label was supposed to be on the right side. So to fix that, I'm going to do an Option Shift up arrow to just move this whole line up above, preserving the indentation and so forth. That's a nice feature and intelligent. So if I refresh this, I get sign up for the latest updates, enter email address, join. That looks so close, except join is in black. And it turns out that that's easy to fix. We can just say UI black label. We could, create a style sheet, find these menu items, blah blah blah. But it turns out that Semantic UI has a class to make the label black, so we can just try that. But if you go with a style sheet, it's not terrible. Okay, sign up for the latest updates. Enter email address, join. That's pretty much, very close to what we have here. And if we go up to the top, that looks like what we're supposed to have. So I think we've finished. And all we have to do is now commit our branch to GitHub. So finished footer, commit and sync footer 1. And there we have it. We'll call it 13 minutes for WOD 3. Not bad, and you now have kind of a nice site. You've got this header navbar, you've got a logo, you've got some drop-down menus in the middle, you've got a full-width picture, and you've got a nice footer. All with Semantic UI, all in about 35-40 minutes, which is really not bad.